Recognize the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Griffin, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for your service. Thank you for being here today. I'll address this question initially to you, Secretary West, but if any of y'all want to chime in, that'd be great. We've heard someone here today, and I'm not sure exactly who it was, allude to the possibility of infiltration of the Taliban into the ANSF. And I'm wondering if you think the threat of infiltration of the Taliban getting into the ANSF, if you think that that is those are isolated incidents, if you think there is a threat of significant infiltration, particularly as we are drawing down, and I'd be interested to know what specific, if you do think it's a threat, what specific steps we are taking to make sure that we're tracking this.
Sir, it is a problem. I don't think it's hugely significant, but it is a problem because if it begins to get in the minds of our advisors, then it becomes a bigger problem. But I've been out with the Afghan Army with our advisors when they've grabbed different guys, and they're trying to find out the Taliban. And I was surprised to see how difficult it is. One Afghan lieutenant just turned to me one day and he said, they're magnificent liars. So you can have some of them in there and you wouldn't even know it. I know that we're trying to take steps to guard against that. In the end, you can never guard against it 100%. I don't see it as being that large a problem, but you can't let it start to play with your mind.
I think right now there are isolated instances, but they're very concerning because they do undermine American confidence in the Afghan units they're working with. That's very dangerous. I think broadly the Afghan Army has a very strong internal inoculation against sympathy towards the Taliban. They are the bulwark in that country between the Taliban and the Taliban taking over their government outside of the international forces. So I think there's some very strong DNA they have that are going to make them broadly very institutionally resistant to this taking any roots there.
Yeah, I don't see it as a future major problem at all, and quite the opposite is happening, not on the scale we found in Iraq, certainly, but it is beginning to grow now in Afghanistan, and that is Taliban fighters turning sides and coming over, and the word is reintegration is the policy term that describes it. And more of that is happening. I mean, the program is constipated by the bureaucracy in Afghanistan government, to be frank about it. But there are plenty of opportunities now, particularly for local fighters who are less ideologically aligned, to go back to what they were doing before they became a fighter and to reintegrate into society.
I was there in Afghanistan over Memorial Day, and there was a lot of talk about reintegration, and particularly, as you say, for folks who may have been in the Taliban for practical reasons. They're just local and looking for a group with which to be affiliated, and are not real interested in the ideology. It's been pretty easy to pull those folks back. So you're not concerned as we draw down that this would be a problem in the leadership ranks, because that's where I could see there being substantial erosion of the police force. But it sounds like you're not too worried about it. Thank you all.